First Watch Now.
What you need to know from the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
Hosted by Cochise County Public Information Officers Carol Kappas and Grady Butler. First Watch on 92.3 KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, giving you an inside look into your sheriff's office. I'm Grady Butler, and with me is Carol Kappas, Public Information Officer with the Sheriff's Office, and Sheriff Mark Daniels. Good morning.
Good morning, Cochise County.
Hello, everyone.
So where are we at for Cochise County football tonight, Sheriff?
We're back home, Grady. Buena's hosting Casa Grande tonight, high school. Should be a good game. Buena needs this game. They need to win. Buena's sitting at 1-3. They've had some tough games here. They're on a 3-game losing streak. And Casa Grande's coming in with a 4-0 record. They're a 4A school, Casa Grande, but they got a pretty good program up there. But Buena, if they can click tonight, and I know they've been struggling to get the quarterback and the running back situation taken care of. They get that settled down. Buena's got a lot of talent. I keep telling people that. I see it. I know a lot of those kids. So they just need to find that balance. Once they click, Buena will go. But they need this game tonight because if they lose tonight, they're going to go into a 4-game skid. Plus, they're going to it'll be hard to turn that season around. So they need this game tonight. So they need some support from the community.
And remember, you can listen to that game tonight on 100.9 FM, and that's K101. Sheriff Daniels will be doing kickoff at 7 o'clock with the pregame starting about 6:30.
That's right. So come out, support your Buena Colts. It should be a good night for football. If not, tune us in.
So they've been a crazy busy week, just with tons of stuff.
It's like, yes, over the last 2 months, it's just the doors have opened for community. Good stuff, though. I mean, we've had a lot going on, National Night Out. Mm-hmm. I mean, I just want to say thank you to everybody from National Night Out. It was packed, all the public safety, EMS, fire that was out there, but the people came out and embraced that. So I just want to say thank you. And I spoke to a lot of people Tuesday night at National Night Out, and people were so appreciative of public safety in this county. So it makes it nice to serve here. It really does. With everything going on, no matter where you stand, no matter conflict you're looking at, be blessed that we live here in Cochise County.
And there were even a couple of high school students that came over from the law enforcement program there, and they helped out with doing whatever needed to be done at that point, meeting and greeting and passing out stickers and, just making an overall good thing.
Yeah, I gave some of the high school kids stickers and said, give these to the little kids. They went through all these roles. They were giving to every kid walking on in the park for National Night Out. And about an hour and a half later, I said, you guys get all your stickers? Every one of them, plus we got more, and we did those too. So a lot of little ones out there got sheriff stickers on their chest.
They looked like walking billboards for a minute.
They did. And we covered up the DPS stickers. They had DPS. We were right on top of them. So for my DPS trooper friends out there, yeah, yours were hidden under ours.
That's why we ordered them about a 1/4 inch bigger, just saying.
Good. I like that, Carol. That's good.
And for those of you who weren't able to make it, go onto our Facebook page because you're going to see the video that Grady did. So you'll be able to see the stormtroopers, you'll be able to see Darth Vader, and all of them coming out of the sheriff's van.
In fact, Carol, Grady and I were over by the hot dogs. We were selling hot dogs. And a bunch of the Star Wars characters were walking around in their animated costumes. And Grady made a comment to me about, hey, I'm going to have them come out of the sheriff's command vehicle. So then I lost contact with Grady, and I was talking, and went back over there, and all the guys were like, Grady just had all the Star Wars guys come out of the command vehicle. So, Grady, thank you for doing that.
That was fun, yeah.
It looked really cool. I saw them just coming out, and all our team was out there looking. But, yeah, how cool is that?
And that video is up on the Sheriff's Facebook page, so you can go find that. And I had a lot of fun making that one, too. So.
Oh, I bet you did, because you're a huge Star Wars guy.
Yeah.
I know you're a huge guy. And I want to say thank you to you, too, for Dining Under the Stars. It's actually Dine Under the Stars.
Right.
I put the action side of it, Dining Under the Stars. But great, I enjoyed doing that with you there tonight.
That was fun, and that's a great fundraiser. And they raise a lot of money for scholarships.
Yes, so far it was $600,000 to help those who want to go to U of A South and enhance their education, enhance their career. So, no, it was well attended, like 200 people out there that night, but we had a good time.
And one of the things that we auctioned off was a ride-along with Sheriff Mark Daniels, and that went for $1,800, but there's more to that story.
Yeah, so one of the bidders actually came up to me, Rachel. She's awesome, came to me afterwards and said, can we match that to get a ride-along too? And I said, well, I don't think the foundation is going to have a real heartache with that. But we went over and talked to them. So they said yes. So they raised $3,600. So, again, it's a great cause. And thank you for those that are going to be coming with me. Michelle from Bright Star and also Rachel who's a college student, and also you'll hear her voice on the radio with Workman Homes down at Kings Ranch. You know, my family built your family. That's Rachel. So she'll be riding with me here too coming up.
And so do you have a time frame that they're scheduled to do that, like in the next month, 2 months?
They get a little certificate. They call me when they're ready, and I reached out to one of them. She called me already, so she's off all next week, so probably the following week. And I want to have them ride on Friday so we can get them here on the show. Give them a little show recognition.
Sure.
Get them in the radio booth here with us. So hopefully by not this Friday, but the next, we'll have one of them on there with us.
And so another thing that was happening was the Nami Sky Islands tour.
Yeah.
That was really well attended.
NAMI stands for National Alliance of Mental Illness. They do a really, really good job here in Cochise County helping those in need, and this is an annual fundraiser for them. I went out there about 6 in the morning. Let me repeat that, 6 in the morning. And they had 330-some bicycles. So kudos to them. I remember they were first putting this together and to see where they're at today. So Judy Tritz and her team and Carol, all of them out there. In fact, Carol was on the show here a few weeks ago. That put that together. It was a really well-attended event and good fundraiser. And also shout out to the Sheriff's Assist team. They were out there doing security around the county for this. Because one trip is 62 miles on the bike. So they're all over Cochise County keeping these riders safe. So thank you to our Sheriff's Assist team.
And they were also at Art in the Park providing security.
Yes.
So they did a great job there.
Our volunteers, whether it be search and rescue, Sheriff's Assist team, I mean, there's 100 volunteers that serve the mission of the Sheriff's Office. And let me tell you, they go out there, they get paid nothing to do it, but they're out there serving the community, whether it's a rescue, recovery, or a community support on the law enforcement side by SAT, we call them, and to include our veterans escorts. And we need to get John in here. John Black's my commander for the volunteers, and have him talk about the escorts. They've got the first 6 months of the year, they did 400 hours of funeral escort hours. Taking veterans to their final rest. So I can't say enough about what they do for this community.
And speaking of our volunteers, Search and Rescue was out again last night.
Yes.
And they had an injured hiker out in the Skeleton Canyon area.
Yeah, the call came in about 3:30, yes, and just getting to some of these people in these remote areas. And I think it was 10 o'clock last night. I was coming home from Phoenix, 10 o'clock last night. I saw the final text where the mission was over. So that was like a 7-hour mission. And people think, they just go get them. No, it doesn't work that way. It's very, very tough up in these mountains. And Skeleton Canyon's a pretty rugged mountain. So kudos to those volunteers last night, too, for doing that.
And remember, all the volunteers at the Sheriff's offices are vetted.
They are, and that's a good point, Grady, which means they're vetted. They just don't come off the street, here's a T-shirt, now you're part of us. No, they go through a background. They go through a lie detector test, background interview. I mean, you name it. Very similar to deputies because they're out there dealing with right along our deputies. So we want to make sure they're vetted the proper way because if there's ever an argument or they're at a crime scene or whatever it may be, that we can defend the merit of the person out there at the scene. So again, it's just somebody doesn't walk off the street, which they come off the streets. But what I mean by that is they're actually vetted like a regular officer would be.
And also we had the Rex Allen Day Parade.
That was a good turnout, let me just say. I mean, and it always is. Wilcox comes out for there. And let me tell you, we made a mistake this year. You heard that, I'm sure, Carol. We did not bring candy.
Uh-oh.
In fact, the kids were very upset with the sheriff. And it didn't help. My sergeant was in front of me saying the sheriff didn't bring candy. That didn't help my situation at all. But so next year I'm going to hire a candy truck. We're going to have candy next year because, those kids wanted their candy. And I'm like, I kept pointing backwards to the sheriff's guys behind me, and I'm sure they were real appreciative of that. But, we failed the candy for Wilcox. There's
some rules and regulations for these parades, and
I know
most of the time you're not allowed to have candy. As a matter of fact, Butterfield stage is coming tomorrow. Don't take candy. You're not allowed to have candy. But if you're accosted again, I think Sergeant Linendahl is the one that didn't bring the candy. So just keep that in mind.
That's who I want to believe.
Yes.
And but tell the 6-year-old.
I know.
There's a candy.
There's a candy moratorium there.
Yes, and see how far that gets you. And Sheriff, where's our candy? And I was like, wow, this one hurts. And one kid threw me a piece of candy because he felt sorry for me as a charity throw. So either way, we got to have candy at our parades. And I get the rules, but it doesn't fly for our adolescents out there.
And what is the Butterfield Stage Days Parade?
It's the big parade there in Benson. It's their big community event. And it seems like all our community events are in September or October.
Mm-hmm.
And So again, if you had nothing to do tomorrow, I mean, come out to Benson. The parade's at 9 o'clock. Runs right downtown Benson there, and again, a well-attended parade. Last couple of years, though, they've had some slow down a little bit in Benson. But the way things are going this year, I'd imagine it's going to be packed tomorrow too.
And we're going to be talking a little bit more about parades because we have the Veterans Day Parade that you're always in and you're walking with the group. So that's coming up November 11th. So we'll be talking about that some more in the future. So tomorrow is Butterfield Stage Days in Benson. So make sure that you get over there and take a look at that because that's going to be a fun time.
And the going back, the Veterans Day Parade, we walk that. And we invite all the veterans from the Sheriff's Office, our team, to walk that with us. We have a big banner, Sheriff's Office, in support of our veterans. And I like that parade. That to me, that's just one of them. Especially in a military town. Like, we embrace Fort Huachuca. They've been awesome. I served up there. That's one of my favorite parades. I'll just say that right now. So I'm looking forward to that one coming up.
And after you left here last week, you went to a promotional ceremony in Fort Huachuca for Colonel Deaver. So thanks for doing that. That was, I think, a really good way to keep reaching out to that family, and they were extremely appreciative of you being there. Yeah,
and I remember I went to one of his promotions here several years ago when he got from major to lieutenant colonel. So watching him going from lieutenant colonel to colonel, I mean, what an honor. Brendan's sharp. He's a sharp. Larry's looking down on him saying, wow. I mean, so proud. It is. And all the Deavers were there. All the grandkids were there. In fact, the general made the comment about, wow, they need their own auditorium for the Deaver family. But it was a well-attended event, and just embracing for that family has been through so much. Let me just say that. They've been through a lot, and so my heart goes out to them. But congratulations to Brennan, and what an achievement to make.
And there's going to be a funeral today for a DEA agent.
Yeah, group supervisor Grabar. My guys have worked with him. My street crimes folks at work. The undercover stuff, let me just say that, work with him. They've been in training with him. They just were in a recent event with him. And so this is tough. This is going to be a tough day for my people, very tough for his family, of course, and his DEA family. So my heart goes out to all of them. That was a tragic, senseless event. Let me just say that. I mean, they were there doing what they do, and then for somebody just to pull out a gun and just start shooting at them like that. We saw the video. I'm sure a lot of people saw that, and we're in a different time of policing, and there's no better time to support law enforcement right now. We all know what's going on in this country when it comes to the scrutiny on law enforcement. We've been very fortunate in rural America, which serves 88% of all the policing in this country, but that doesn't mean it's not dangerous or it's not challenging. So please thank a law enforcement officer today, and this is, again, my prayers for the family.
And next Thursday, you can also see it through social media, but is the 33rd annual United by Light Candlelight Vigil that's going to be held from the National Law Enforcement Officer Memorial. And they're going to be honoring 701 fallen officers. So they're adding those names. Now, that's not going to include the people who were just impacted, but they have these new names that were added to the Law Enforcement Memorial in Washington, D.C., and that's just from 20 and 21. And it's, again, 701 names that they're going to be adding. So take a look at that on the National Law Enforcement Officer Memorial page.
Sadly, we're in a very deadly time for law enforcement. You know, we were losing a lot of brothers and sisters out there. Most time you don't even hear about it. It's sad, and I'm just going to go out on this one. It's sad. Every time a law enforcement officer is killed in this country, that should be national news, because that's an attack on America's attack on our communities, and communities make up this country. So, unfortunately, you don't see it much. Every once in a while you see a touch of a news, or an officer killed in Oklahoma, officer killed, deputy killed in Florida, whatever it may be. But I'm telling you, it's just, we're in a really trying time right now. And those people that are evil, that support that, shame on you. Truly shame on you. These are people that represent communities just like we all do. So I stand by my law enforcement, public safety family, and I'm pretty strong on that.
You just had a meeting in Phoenix with the Arizona Sheriffs.
Yeah, there's a big golf tournament in Phoenix today. I won't be there golfing. I have to pay people to golf with me, if that makes any sense. And so I'm not golfing. I had too much going on here today. But I went up last night they had a social last night because they have all the sponsors there. Sheriffs were there. And so I drove up last night, got home a little after 10 o'clock. A long day yesterday, let me just say that. But as president of the Arizona Sheriff Association, they're like, "You're going to be here?" Yeah, I'll be there. So I left town about 2:30 yesterday to run up there and do that. And so, again, it was a good event. Talked to a lot of people, and in fact, I talked to a couple of sponsors on that I think are going to help us out in the future. They're going to come down and see me on a few things, so hopefully I can share that here in the near future. But yeah, it was a good night.
And part of like the busyness of the week too has been there was a fatal accident in Presidential Estates. A 72-year-old woman passed as a result of that accident. So we appreciate people giving their input and whatnot. Fortunately, it wasn't a major roadway that was closed, but it's things like that you just have to be careful of because and recently retired Sierra Vista police officer was the one that came across that accident and went to check and found her deceased. So, those are the kind of things that if you see something, say something, and it's just unfortunate. So, our thoughts are with her family.
Yeah, my prayers go out to the family too. And this was a unique accident. And when it comes to the dynamics of it, not going into a lot of detail here, but I will say this too. The shout out to Dan Majaris. Dan's a retired colonel from Fort Huachuca. He's on our Sheriff's Assist team, but he's also a retired chaplain, so we use him to assist the deputies, our support staff, all the way through. And he was out there, and he actually does our notifications with our deputies. He's very, very good at what he does, and I thank him for that because these are tough. When you have to go to somebody's house, knock on the door and say, hey. In this case, the husband was not at home. He was coming home. They met him away from the house and gave the notice. That's no easy job, folks. I'm telling you right now. And having something like Dan Majaris there next to us who's trained in that, thank you, Dan, for what you're doing on that. But also my prayers to the family. That was a tough one.
And just be careful when you're driving because yesterday morning near the on-ramp at Mescal westbound, they had a double fatality. So, that's a Department of Public Safety accident. But please be careful when you're driving.
Yeah, be very careful, and that's why we do the safety message of the week. And I'll hit on that right now since we're talking about that. Coming home last night about 10 o'clock, and a car came off Wilcox on the BST, and I followed it, and the car just was drifting back and forth. Well, 10 o'clock at night, the first thing I think of is impairment. So I'm watching the car. We come up on Coronado, and the light turns red, and we got some distance before we can get to the light, and just no brakes, just goes right on through. So. I think you all know me by now, and even those who tune in. So I turned the lights on and stopped him, and wrote him 3 different tickets. Sad, but 3 different tickets. And he thought, well, I thought I had more time. Folks, we got to prepare ourselves. We got to be attentive while we're driving. And one thing I'm seeing a lot of is people are still maneuvering their phones while they drive. Look around as you're driving. If you're listening to this, look at the car next to you, see if they have the phone in their hand. It's dangerous, folks. We've got to put those phones down. And I went to a wireless system in my sheriff's car. Or I pull over if I have to pull over and take notes. So we just got to change our habits on that. And I get it. Hey, we're in rural Cochise County. Well, folks, we just gave you 3 examples here. In the last few days, we've lost 3 people. So, again, be careful out there.
Well, let's give your border update for this week.
Well, we had General McGuire. For those who don't know, General McGuire he's an Air Force general, but he oversaw the deployment of the National Guard before he retired, and in the spring and early summer of getting the National Guard down here to Cochise County. He came down to take a look at what the deployment looks like, what's going on the border. We actually, Sergeant Tim Williams and I took him out to the border, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, Monday it was, took him out to the border, and we had 8 different groups down by the river toward Montezuma, 8 different groups that were around us. And we have the camera system so we can actually see them. But it sounds so easy. Like, okay, here we are. Grab them all. Let's go. Border Patrol, so I don't forget this, the CBP officers and agents out there, thank you for what you're doing. They are overwhelmed. They're doing a fantastic job with what's been dealt to them. But last but not least, so we're working with them, helping them identify. Our biggest thing is to keep them off private properties. I mean, we're not immigration officers, but we do have an obligation to protect our citizens, and we always will. But we end up getting one group with Border Patrol, but the rest, Border Patrol is all over the place with their limited resources. But just shows you the amount of traffic coming through this county right now. 9,000 to 10,000 a month are coming through the Tucson sector, which is part of Cochise. So it just gives you an idea how much impact we're dealing with this. So I've said it on the show before, I've said it on other, is we have to do it collectively. Collectively, we got to do a better job what's going on now.
And so just to remind people that CCOM, real quick, they're out there, they're doing a great job, they're fielding all these calls, and they are short-staffed. So if you're looking for a career, make sure that you jump onto the City of Sierra Vista website and take a look at applying for that.
Yeah, it's a very, very good job, and it pays very well. I think the starting salary is $47,000 a year. You can apply through the City of Sierra Vista. They run the HR part of that. Take a look at it. If you want a tour, reach out to the Sheriff's Office, reach out to Sierra Vista PD, and set up a tour. Go see that. And Mike Klein's the director over there right now. They'll give you a tour. Yeah, we're hurting. We're hurting on staffing. I'll just say it right now. And in fact, we had a meeting last Friday, an improv meeting, to get National Guard in our CCOM, just to fill this void right now. And it goes back to my initial comment. Public safety is taking a real challenge when it comes to hiring. Nobody wants to work in public safety. And that goes to our support, our detention staff, our support staff, our sworn folks. We have to, and this is a great place to work as law enforcement and public safety. So please, if you're thinking about it, don't think too hard. Come see us and let's see if we can show you. Let us show you what we do, and I think you'll be pretty impressed.
And your safety message of the week is going to be about hunting.
It is. We're in a hunting season, and our phones ring hard during hunting season. And I wanted to decipher the two things. First of all, everybody talks about you can't discharge a firearm a quarter mile from a residence. That's that's a hunting statute. So if they're hunting, yes, that law applies. It's titled ARS, Arizona Revised Statute 17, which talks about hunting. But people call all the time whether they're shooting a gun and they can't shoot within a quarter mile. Only if they're hunting does that law apply. Now, there's also a law. There's two. I want to clarify this too. The state law does have a provision for municipalities, cities. In the county, it does not. So we do have a statute that's called reckless discharge of a firearm, which means if you're shooting in the county, anywhere in the county, whether it be in a more congested area or out in a very rural area, you still have to discharge a firearm with due safety. And it means you have to have a backstop. You got to make sure nobody's around you. You just can't start shooting a gun because you're out in the county. So, again, my safety message is if you're going to go out and practice shoot, if you're going to go out and hunt, whatever you're going to do, you have to make sure you're doing with ultimate safety. If not, there is violations on both sides of that. And let me just say this about hunting, too. You could not hunt from a highway or roadway. You can't have a gun hang out the window and shoot from, and we see that. We get calls of that where the people go down the road. And in fact, I had it happen right behind my house where I live off Ramsey Canyon, where a guy shot a deer right from the roadway. And I didn't get to him. I went after him, didn't get him. But I'm telling you, that's a huge violation if you get caught doing that. So just be safe and know the laws. If you're going to be hunting, know where you're at when hunting. And if you're going to hunt and you go on property, make sure you have permission of the property owner, whether it's leased land or not. You need to let them know you're out there, just out of respect too. So.
Well, Sheriff Mark Daniels, before you go, invite everybody out to Cochise County football.
Please tune in tonight. Your Buena Colts are going to be hosting Casa Grande High School. The pregame 6:30, kickoff is at 7. Thank you, everyone, and have a great week.
And Carol, who do we have coming in next?
We have all kinds of guests out here, Grady, and they're filling our lobby, so as soon as we get all that sorted out, I'll let you know.
All right. It's First Watch on KWCD Country, and it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
It's First Watch now.
Hosted by Public Information Officer Carol Kappas and Grady Butler.
On 92.3 KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, giving you an inside look into your sheriff's office. I'm Grady Butler, and with me is Carol Kappas, Public Information Officer with the Sheriff's Office, and our next guest.
Welcome back, Cochise County, and if you're driving to work, please be careful out there. We have Leanne Schmidt, and I'm going to say Relay for Life, but better known as Sierra Vista Police Department coordinator, keeping everything together. I know that's not your official title, but thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about Relay for Life. It's going to be next Saturday. So I know we talked about going over the agenda. So tell us a little bit about Relay for Life and what's going to happen.
Okay, Relay for Life is an event. It was started back in 1985 up in Tacoma, Washington, and it was to raise funds towards cancer research, advocacy, program services. And our event here in Sierra Vista will be next Saturday, October 16th at Veterans Memorial Park. Teams will start arriving at noon. At 4 o'clock, we will have some entertainment games, possibly some children from the community dancing for us. Through 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock will be our opening ceremonies. We will have DJ Melody with the Northrop Grumman team. She will be there. And Sheriff Daniels will be helping us out again this year to MC the event along with Jeff Davenport. At 6 o'clock, we're going to start our opening ceremonies, but prior to that, from 5 to 5:50, we will have our survivor check-in, and I'm the coordinator for these survivors for the event, and I have been with this organization for the last 23 years, helping out against to fight cancer. And so 6 o'clock will be our national anthem, which will be sang by Michelle Mitchell. We will have colors posted by the Tombstone Yellow Jackets, JROTC, and we will have the American Legion Riders do an honor ride into the park for us that night. Also, we will have Mayor Mueller starting off our event, and we will be introducing our event leadership team. Our honorary survivor this year will be Trenton Harris, who's a 16-year-old. And then we will have Michelle Mitchell once more. She will sing our survivor song for us. At that time, after the opening ceremonies, we will have our survivor picture, which will be followed by our survivor lap, and that starts off the event. Now, the event is comprised of teams walking the track, raising money, and we're also there to network and to, as a community, to help in the fight towards the eradication of cancer one of these days. Our event is open to all families. Anybody in the community can participate in this, and there is a very easy way to get registered, to register a team or register yourself as a survivor. There is an 877 number, that is 957-7848. They will easily get you registered on that line without any forms or having to mail anything in this year. Once we do our, we will mention our top sponsors, and once we are finished with our survivor lap, then our survivors, along with one guest each, will come over to the survivor area, and we will have our survivor dinner, which will be hosted by Texas Roadhouse this year. So that's exciting. They have also offered to give each one of the survivors a gift certificate for the survivor luncheon, which we usually hold at Texas Roadhouse. But due to COVID, we have decided to go towards the gift certificate route, and then the survivor and then the survivor can go at a time of their choice. They can go to Texas Roadhouse to have that meal instead. After those events, there will be some theme laps that we will do, and then at 7:15 we will have our Luminaria Ceremony, and that is our ceremony where all of our Luminaria bags that line our track will already have been lit up, and then we have a short ceremony, and all the names on all of the bags, they will be as long as they get in by the deadline. We have to have our people that are organizing that have enough time so we can get them on the big screen that evening. After that, we would like to do a Mr. Relay competition, and we've had approximately 10 participants in the past, and that is where we have some male participants that dress up and as females, and they sing, and then they go out into the crowd and they get donations. And in that evening, in that hour, with them doing that, we've raised as much as $1,300 just in that one event. So it's a really great event. We're going to have many giveaways for the event, and we are going to be having our closing ceremony at 9:30, wrapping up the event at 10, and then the event leadership team will be packing up, and we will be out of the park by midnight this year. But I would like to mention, if anybody's interested, there also is a website, which is www.relayforlife.org/Sierra Vista AZ. And our top sponsors this year for our event are Diamond Oak Brewing Cooperative, along with Texas Roadhouse, Sulphur Springs Valley Electrical Co-op. We have the Country Lawyer, ERA, Four Feathers Realty. We have the Sons of the American Legion. We have Yucca Moving and Storage. And our DJ Melody is going to be there along with employees from Northrop Grumman. So it should be quite a great event. This year's event is not going to be quite as big as in the past, but we all realized last year we had to go virtual with our event, and it was a big challenge, definitely, coordinating between 3 sites. And this year we're just trying to keep this alive because we know due to COVID, everybody has been kind of at home more than normal. They're trying to get back out. And also, we just want Sierra Vista, Cochise County, Arizona, the world to know that just because we've gone through this and been through this, and a lot of us, pretty much everybody has been affected by COVID, we want them to know that we haven't given up in our fight against cancer. So we're just trying to have the best event possible that we can on October 16th. So please come out and join us at the park. Again, our opening ceremonies will be at 6 p.m., but we will start entertainment, games, giveaways at 4 p.m. that evening. So if you've got any survivors at all that would like to sign up, they can also call the number 877-957-7848. And I am also available for questions. You may have to leave a message for me, but my number is 520-249-6164.
Well, Leanne, we thank you for coming and talking to us today, and we thank you for what you're doing with the American Cancer Society Relay for Life.
Thank you so much for having us. Thank you.
It's First Watch on KWCD Country, and it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
On 92.3 KWCD.
Brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. I'm Grady Butler, and with me is Carol Kappas and our next guest.
Welcome back, Cochise County, and thank you so much, Jim Forbes from the Sierra Vista Car Club. You're the president. Thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome.
So tell us what the Sierra Vista Car Club is. What do you do?
Well, the Sierra Vista Car Club started in 1988. Basically, a bunch of folks in town wanted to get together and put on car shows and do fun things with cars. We usually are the type of cars we have are restored cars, hot rods, customs. Pretty much anything that is a car that has some interest to someone. And we started with our first cars in the park in 1988, and we've been going every year. We missed last year, but we're getting back in the swing of things this year. The car club also, the members pretty much, anyone can join. You don't have to have a car to join. Several people have joined and been working on a car and finally got it done with some help of other members. We generally put on several events every year just for the members, drives to different locations, going out to eat and visiting other car shows and events. Right now we only put on one event every year, which is the Cars in the Park show.
And that's where you get to show everything off, and that's coming up this Saturday.
That's right. That's tomorrow. The show will start in the morning. The show itself starts at 8 in the morning. We expect to have 200 or 300 cars there.
Nice.
We'll see what happens. We've changed things a little bit this year. In the past, we've had to have pre-registration. The way things are going this year, we decided that in case anything got canceled, that we would just put on the show in a way that we could stop it if we needed. Fortunately, we haven't had to stop it. But that means that this year there's no pre-registration. You have to show up in the morning, it's sometime around 7 or 8 in your car, and bring $20, and you can get in the show.
And do you need to be a member of your club to get in the show?
No, not at all. The Sierra Vista Car Club members are putting on the show. Some of us will have our cars there, but we're not actually part of the show. We don't compete for the awards.
Okay, I see.
And this year we're going to be giving out 10 awards for the top 10 cars, plus a Best of Show award, and we're also going to have cash drawings for basically all the show participants to get a chance to win $100.
And actually, to go to the car show as the public, it's free.
To go to the show, yes, spectators are free. You can show up anytime and park there and park in the parking lot and wander around the show, talk to people, look at cars. It's a lot of fun.
So let's talk about if you want to be a member of your car club, or if you want to find out more information about your car club, how can they do that?
We have a webpage, sierravistacarclub.org. We also have a Facebook page. Go to Facebook and just search for Sierra Vista Car Club. You should be able to find it. We have the entry form for the car show is there. Again, we'll have them at the show, but if you want to go ahead and fill that out ahead of time, sign it. As soon as you get there, then you can just go right in.
All right. Well, thank you for coming and talking to us today about tomorrow's events. It's First Watch on KWCD Country, and it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
It's First Watch now.
Hosted by Public Information Officer Carol Kappas and Grady Butler.
On 92.3 KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. And Carol, who is our next guest?
Mr. Bouchard from the Kiwanis Club in Sierra Vista. So thank you so much for being here.
I'm so glad to be here. Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about the new and exciting proposed tree lighting and parade for Sierra Vista for this Christmas.
I'm so excited about what the city's doing this year. We've gone from a simple tree lighting and a parade, which have always been wonderful, to now having a 2-day event where we're going to include not just the tree lighting and a bigger, better tree, but we're also going to have vendors around that tree right in the middle of the park by the pavilion, and just all these activities that we've been having up to this point. You'll recall last year they changed the whole format. They moved the Santas along the street so you could drive through and see all the Santas that they reconditioned. Well, now they're going to go another step further, and I think they're looking to build this out to a 1 or 2 week program. I'm excited about that.
That does sound great. So in a minute, you're going to tell us how we can help out with the purchase of this very cool tree you've got going. But first, let's talk about the event itself.
Sure.
It's December 3rd and 4th. So what's happening on the 3rd?
Right. On the 3rd is the actual tree lighting event, but they're going to set up vendors, from about noon till 5 o'clock. So they'll be there before the tree lighting event happens. Then, of course, the mayor will come out at about 5:45. He'll light the tree up, and it's a free-for-all. You get to hang out with Santa. I think the Grinch might be there. There'll be maybe a bouncing castle and a few other things, but mostly really cool German Chris Kringle Mark vendors out there with glühwein and beer for the adults and cookies and all these cool little artisan gifts to bend there as well. I'm excited about it.
And then the 4th.
And on the 4th, yes, on the 4th is the actual parade, and you guys know the parade. It happens every year, but they'll have available starting at 11 in the afternoon, well, just before noon. All those vendors will be open for folks in the neighborhood, just like similar to the Art in the Park event, and that'll stay open till 11 p.m. And, of course, the parade starts at 8:30 p.m., as I understand it, and will go until they reach, of course, the actual pavilion, and they drop off Santa, and he's there to greet everyone and do photo ops with the kids.
So now you just need that big tree to light, and you guys have come up with something new, and that's where we need the community's help.
Absolutely. So Kiwanis has been helping the community forever. It's at least 60 years it's going on. And, we did the skate park right there in the park as well. And we do a lot of things, like we have 2 of the pavilions there in the park and so forth. So this is nothing new to us. It's just scratching the surface of what we do in the community. We're in a lot of the schools too. But what we really want is, we've already put the down payment down for a 20-foot tree. Now, this is a big, significant, well-lit mechanical tree that can grow from 20 feet all the way to 41 feet tall. So we have enough money to fiduciarily be responsible and fund for that tree. We just need another $8,000 roughly to get it here on time, but we've already committed towards it, and we're excited to see it right there next to the pavilion and have it be illuminated instead of that cypress tree, which has served its purposes for these many years. So that's what we need, and we need you to get on to our website, which is Kiwanis Club of Sierra Vista. Again, KiwanisClubofSierraVista.com, and you'll find a little link halfway down with the Christmas tree and a little map of what it's going to look like in the park. And if you'll click on that link, you'll find the tree program among the other many school programs that we do, so you can help us get it here on time.
And you can donate right there on the webpage.
Right there on the website, PayPal or credit card, whatever you like.
All right, give us that webpage one more time.
It's the KiwanisClubofSierraVista.com. And you'll find a link there. And by the way, happy holidays. Don't you just love this time of year?
Yes, this is the best.
So many events going on in the park. I get excited.
Well, thanks for telling us about what you need, how we can help, and this wonderful event you guys got planned.
Thanks
It's
for
gonna
the
be
time.
great.
I appreciate
You bet.
it.
And coming up next, we've got Tammy, and she's from Hearts of Gold, which is an animal rescue, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her event. But she's also one of the recipients of the charity ride.
That's right. So the 9th annual charity ride for the Cochise County Sheriff's Office with our partners Lawley Automotive and American Southwest Credit Union. And so you are one of the recipients. There are 4 this year. So we want to hear about what you are doing and what you are thinking about in relation to your program itself and the charity ride proceeds.
Awesome. Well, first of all, I just want to say how grateful I am to the Sheriff's Office for being chosen for, to be a recipient of this grant. I'm so excited what this is going to mean for my rescue and the dogs that I am able to bring in. So I'm Hearts of Gold Animal Haven. I've been operating for about 2 years. I run out of my home. And it's just me and my family that take care of all these dogs. I was actually going through my paperwork last night, and in the 2 years that we've been operating, I've adopted out 75 dogs.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm super excited about that. And I'm so grateful. The Sheriff's Office does so many wonderful things, and American Southwest Credit Union and Lollies, and the amazing things that you guys do for this community is just so awesome. So,
well, thanks for what you're doing too. 75 animals in 2 years, my gosh. So, your organization that you've founded, it's, well, you and your family together. So what do you do? How do you get your animals? What happens there?
So, tons of different ways. Community members reach out. They're having trouble. My family specializes in puppies. Puppies are usually easier to take care of. I do have many dogs and animals of my own, so I have to make sure that they're going to fit into my pack. So I usually only take puppies or younger dogs that will be able to socialize with my dogs. And I get animals from all over. Sometimes shelters reach out to me and they're saying, hey, I'm full. Can you take a few off my hands? Or the Sheriff's Office has contacted me multiple times to be like, I have a litter of puppies and I have no place to put them. And I'm like, just bring them over. I'll take them. So if someone's in need, please give me a call or check me out on Facebook, which is Hearts of Gold. But please remember, I'm super small. It's just me and my husband and my mother. My adult children help out every now and then. So I do have limited resources, but I do have other resources that I can say, hey, check with this rescue or check with these people. And I'm always willing to help out as much as I can.
And do you have any dogs that you're trying to get out right now and adopt?
I do. So I have 3 amazing dogs right now. I have Missy, who is a cattle dog mix. She's about 7 months old. She's very spunky, loves to cuddle, but she kind of needs to be the only dog in the home. She doesn't care for other dogs or cats. I have Missy's sister, Allie, who is very spunky. She's looking for a very active family, hiking, biking, running, something. She needs all that energy to burn off, and she is about 7 months old. And then I just got in the cutest 8-week-old puppy. His name is Andy, and he is just like, he's a chunk, and he's so cute, and hopefully he'll make some family an amazing dog.
And how can they get a hold of you on Facebook, either to adopt or use your services or to help out?
Please check me out on Facebook. It's Hearts of Gold. I post all sorts of pictures and share all sorts of fun stuff. Feel free to message me there.
Well, Tammy, we thank you for coming and talking to us today.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
And the charity ride is coming up, and we need to get that information out as well.
We definitely do. So if you're looking for something fun to do, I'm telling you, November 6th is your day, and it's going to be right here in Sierra Vista on Fry Boulevard at Lolly Automotive. You can only register online. So if you go to the Sheriff's webpage, we have a link there. It's going to be cochise.az.gov/sheriff, and then it's /charity-ride. I know it's a lot, but just go to cochise.az.gov/sheriff. We'll have the link there. Jump on board, get registered, and make sure you get ready to come out and have a great day.
And this year we're giving out funds to 4 organizations. You've just heard about Hearts of Gold, but there's also the American Legion Post number 53, the Butterfly Club, and Coronado Lobo Club. And we'll be talking to them on the show as the weeks progress.
That's right. And we have to make sure when they're looking for Tammy, can you spell the last? Because if you say gold, sometimes it sounds like gold. So can you just tell us really quickly the spelling of it?
So it's Hearts of Gold. It's Gould, and that's actually my maiden name. My amazing friend Arlene actually came up with that when I decided that this was what we were going to do.
That's neat. Hearts of Gold.
Yes.
I see. That's a really neat name.
Yeah.
All right, and how else can they get a hold of us at the Sheriff's Office?
So take a look. We have our webpage at cochise.az.gov/sheriff. We have our Facebook at Cochise County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Mark J. Daniels. Grady has taken the helm at our Instagram account, so take a look at that, and our Twitter page at CC_Sheriff. We have lots of ways for you to reach out, so give us a call.
It's First Watch on KWCD Country, and it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
You've been listening to First Watch with the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
Hosted by Cochise County Public Information Officers Carol Kappas and Grady Butler.
Join us again next Friday morning, 7 to 8 a.m.
First Watch.
What you need to know from the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
Only on 92.3 KWCD.
KWCD is Sierra Vista. From the Desert Diamond Casino Studios. Cochise County Country is on 92.3 KWCD.